6 essential pillars of support. After 60, stronger than family, elderly wisdom, old age, senior. As the remarkable milestone of turning 60 and venturing beyond arrives, a fundamental question often emerges. Who will genuinely stand by your side through the inevitable ebbs and flows of life? In earlier years, the answer might have felt unequivocally clear. Your immediate family, your closest confidants, those individuals whose presence has been a constant throughout your journey. Yet upon crossing the threshold of 60, the intricate tapestry of reality begins to unveil a subtly different picture. Life, in its relentless evolution, ushers in new demands and circumstances. People become increasingly engrossed in their own trajectories, priorities subtly realign, and what once felt like an unshakable support system might, upon closer inspection, reveal itself to be less robust than previously perceived. This exploration delves into 6 truly essential pillars that demonstrably become more dependable and foundational than even familial ties as one navigates the later chapters of life. This isn't an invitation to distance oneself from loved ones. Rather, it's a profound call to understand the true origins of stability and to proactively ensure that you are never left in a precarious or vulnerable position when the need for steadfast support is paramount. By meticulously constructing a formidable foundation rooted in these 6 indispensable pillars, you cultivate a deep sense of security and an invaluable degree of independence that will powerfully sustain you through life's myriad challenges, allowing you to face each one with greater resilience and self-assurance. Embrace these insights, for they possess the potential to fundamentally reshape your understanding of support, empowering you to never again feel powerless, isolated, or utterly unprepared for what lies ahead. The cornerstone of this robust foundation is your financial stability. Indeed, the single most reliable support you will ever cultivate in your lifetime isn't another human being, regardless of their affection or good intentions. It is unequivocally your own financial independence. While the adage that money cannot purchase happiness holds a kernel of truth, it undeniably secures an unparalleled sense of security, unparalleled freedom, and invaluable peace of mind. As the years accumulate and wisdom deepens, the stark reality becomes increasingly apparent. Placing your reliance on family for financial assistance is not a prudent strategy. It is inherently a significant risk. Your children, commendable in their own right, are invariably immersed in their own intricate lives, navigating their individual expenses and shouldering the weighty responsibilities of their own burgeoning families. Even if their love for you runs deep and their intentions are pure, circumstances may dictate that they are simply not in a position to render the assistance you require precisely when you need it most. Consider the poignant experience of Richard, a 72-year-old gentleman who, throughout his life, implicitly believed that his children would invariably step in should he ever encounter financial distress. He had, after all, dedicated himself to supporting them through their higher education, extending financial aid whenever they faced momentary difficulties, and consistently being a steadfast presence whenever they sought his counsel or comfort. However, when an unforeseen and severe medical crisis swiftly depleted his carefully accumulated life savings, he naturally turned to his wife, children, for help. It was then, in that moment of profound vulnerability, that he confronted a painful reality. They themselves were grappling with the substantial burdens of their own mortgage payments, their personal bills, and their distinct financial challenges. This wasn't a reflection of their lack of care or affection. It was a stark testament to the often unpredictable and demanding nature of life itself. This narrative underscores precisely why financial stability emerges as one of the most formidable pillars of support you can diligently construct. Its essence isn't about accumulating vast wealth for its own sake. Rather, it's about meticulous preparedness, about having a comprehensive and actionable plan in place for unforeseen emergencies, and cultivating a consistent and reliable source of income upon which you can depend without question. It involves fostering a lucid and profound understanding of effective money management, ensuring that you never find yourself in a position of dependence, having to solicit assistance from anyone else merely to navigate your daily existence. If you are currently in your 60s or have already surpassed this significant age, it is an opportune moment to engage in some crucial self-reflection and pose critical questions. Have I sufficiently amassed savings to comfortably cover unexpected expenses that may arise? Is my retirement income stream genuinely secure and predictable? Have I diligently minimized any potential financial risks that could potentially place me in a vulnerable predicament down the line? If any of your honest answers lean towards no, then the imperative to take decisive action is unequivocally now. This proactive approach necessitates a commitment to continuous learning and disciplined execution. It means acquiring the essential skills to budget wisely and adhere to it consistently, making conscious choices to avoid the debilitating trap of unnecessary debt that can quickly erode your hard-earned security. It demands a thoughtful strategy for investing, not in fleeting trends, but in assets and opportunities that are poised to deliver long-term stability and growth. Beyond merely saving, it is about creating a dynamic financial ecosystem that functions as your personal fortress, protecting you from the vagaries of economic shifts and personal setbacks. It entails understanding concepts like inflation, diversification, and estate planning, ensuring that your financial legacy and future well-being are secured not just for you, but potentially for future generations without imposing burdens. It means exploring various income streams post-retirement, such as part-time work, consulting, or leveraging hobbies into small businesses, to augment fixed incomes and maintain a sense of purpose and engagement. Ultimately, your financial security stands as the unwavering sentinel that will consistently remain by your side, irrespective of the unpredictable currents and challenges that life may invariably hurl your way. It provides the bedrock upon which all other forms of independence can flourish, allowing you to make choices based on desire rather than necessity, and granting you the profound freedom to live your later years on your own terms. The next indispensable pillar, intertwined with your overall well-being, is your physical health. There exists a profound truth in life. No conceivable quantity of love, no measure of accumulated wealth, nor any degree of support from others, regardless of its sincerity, can ever truly replace the intrinsic value of your health. Once you cross the threshold of 60, your physical body metamorphoses into either your most formidable ally, empowering you to embrace life with vitality and independence, or your most significant obstacle, constraining your freedom and diminishing your quality of life. The unvarnished truth is that one can possess an abundance of financial security, an empire of wealth, but should your health precipitously decline, your cherished freedom rapidly dissipates. And while your family undoubtedly harbors deep affection and concern for your welfare, they are fundamentally incapable of exercising on your behalf, nor can they meticulously select and prepare the nutritious foods that are essential for your sustenance. They certainly cannot unilaterally halt or reverse the inexorable march of aging itself. This fundamental responsibility, the ultimate stewardship of your physical well-being, rests squarely and entirely upon your shoulders. A regrettable number of individuals, perhaps due to optimism or procrastination, neglect their health, operating under the often mistaken assumption that when the inevitable time arrives, someone will magically appear to assume the role of their caregiver. However, the sobering reality dictates that even if your family's love for you knows no bounds, they are simultaneously navigating their own complex lives. They may genuinely lack the requisite time, the sustained energy, or even the intrinsic ability to assume the demanding and often exhausting role of your primary caregiver. To become overly reliant on others to meticulously manage your day-to-day well-being can, paradoxically, leave you feeling profoundly powerless and stripped of your personal agency. This is precisely why the deliberate prioritization of your health now represents one of the most profoundly important and far-reaching investments you can make for your future self. It is an investment that yields dividends in the form of sustained independence, enhanced quality of life, and a deeper sense of self-reliance. Consider the illustrative narrative of Carl, a 68-year-old man who, in his younger, more vibrant years, had consistently maintained an active lifestyle. However, following his retirement, he gradually allowed his commitment to physical activity and healthy habits to wane. He rationalized, perhaps understandably, that he possessed ample time in the future to regain his fitness and vigor. Yet, before he fully grasped the insidious progression, his energy levels plummeted, his once reliable mobility significantly declined, and even the most seemingly simple daily tasks became increasingly arduous and challenging. While his children made commendable efforts to visit whenever their schedules permitted, they were simply unable to be present every single day to provide the constant physical assistance he began to require. Eventually, Carl underwent a profound realization. If he genuinely aspired to maintain his cherished independence and dignity, he had no choice but to actively seize control of his health. This pivotal decision could not be deferred until tomorrow, nor postponed until next year. It demanded immediate and resolute action. The pursuit of robust health in later life does not necessitate the rigorous training regimen of a professional athlete. Rather, it thrives on the power of small, consistent, and deliberate efforts that collectively produce transformative results. Begin by incorporating movement into your daily routine, however modest it may seem. This could be a brisk walk around the neighborhood, gentle stretching exercises, or participating in a low-impact fitness class tailored for seniors. Simultaneously, cultivate a conscious habit of consuming foods that genuinely fuel your body and promote vitality, rather than those that inflict harm and contribute to decline. This involves prioritizing fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins and whole grains, while limiting processed foods, excessive sugars, and unhealthy fats. Crucially, take your regular medical checkups with the utmost seriousness, understanding that they are not mere formalities but essential opportunities for preventative care and early detection. If you have been deliberately ignoring persistent warning signs, such as aches that stubbornly refuse to dissipate, increasing difficulty with walking or maintaining balance, or unexplained fluctuations in your energy levels, it is time, unequivocally, to cease pushing them aside. These are your body's critical signals, pleading for attention. Your future self, brimming with the benefits of continued mobility, mental clarity, and sustained energy, will express profound gratitude for every single healthy choice you conscientiously make today. Because at its core, your most formidable support system is not found in the well-intentioned efforts of your children, your siblings, or your dearest friends. It resides within your own inherent capacity to cultivate and maintain strength, remain actively engaged, and sustain your capabilities. The more diligently and thoughtfully you prioritize your physical health in the present moment, the less you will ultimately have to rely on anyone else in the years to come, preserving your autonomy and allowing you to live life to its fullest potential. This proactive approach ensures that you are the architect of your own well-being, not a passive recipient of care. The third indispensable pillar shaping a fulfilling later life is the cultivation and maintenance of your social circle. One of the most significant and often underestimated pitfalls individuals encounter as they gracefully age is the insidious process of isolating themselves. Perhaps this retraction occurs gradually, almost imperceptibly. Cherished friends relocate to distant locales, beloved family members or acquaintances pass on, and before one fully comprehends the shift, their once vibrant and expansive social circle has regrettably diminished to a size far smaller than they could have ever envisioned. The inherent danger in this trajectory lies in the pervasive and debilitating creep of loneliness. And loneliness, particularly after the age of 60, is not merely an emotional discomfort. It is a hazardous condition with tangible and detrimental effects. It doesn't solely erode one's emotional well-being. It actively compromises physical health, blunts mental sharpness and cognitive function, and can even, tragically, exert a negative influence on one's overall lifespan. It's natural to assume that family members will invariably be present to provide companionship and ward off solitude. However, here lies a fundamental truth. Your children, laudable in their own pursuits, are invariably absorbed in the intricate tapestries of their individual lives. They are navigating demanding careers, nurturing their own families, and shouldering a myriad of responsibilities that perpetually keep them busy and often geographically distant. While their love for you remains deep and unwavering, they simply cannot realistically be your singular or exclusive source of daily companionship and emotional sustenance. This is precisely why one of the most vital pillars of enduring support is your dynamic and engaged social network. That constellation of individuals who consistently check in on your welfare, who effortlessly elicit laughter and joy, and who infuse your life with vibrant energy and stimulating conversation. These relationships are not merely an optional luxury, they are an absolute, non-negotiable necessity for sustained well-being. Consider the illuminating example of Margaret, a 73-year-old woman who had, for much of her life, placed her sole reliance on her immediate family for companionship and emotional connection. She was blessed with 2 sons, both of whom cherished her deeply. However, as the years progressed, their lives naturally became more demanding, increasingly occupied with their professional careers and the consuming responsibility of raising their own children. While they conscientiously maintained regular phone contact, the cherished daily visits and convivial weekend gatherings regrettably grew less frequent. Margaret began to experience a profound sense of loneliness, often finding herself waiting with anticipation for phone calls that did not always materialize as consistently as she desired. It was at this juncture that she made a transformative decision. She proactively embarked on a journey of reconnecting with long-lost friends, enthusiastically joining a local community group that aligned with her interests and even courageously embracing new hobbies that, in turn, introduced her to an array of new and interesting people. Suddenly, her life experienced a remarkable rejuvenation, brimming with engaging conversations, shared laughter, and a renewed sense of purpose and belonging. She no longer had to passively await her family's availability to feel connected. She had, with deliberate effort and courage, meticulously constructed and nurtured those vital connections herself. Friendships, participation in community groups, and even the seemingly casual acquaintances forged through daily interactions bestow upon you something immeasurably priceless, a profound and abiding sense of belonging. Whether it's the congenial neighbor with whom you exchange pleasantries and local gossip, the intellectually stimulating book club you faithfully attend, or the camaraderie found within a group at your local fitness center, cultivating a diverse array of relationships outside the confines of your immediate family creates an invaluable foundation of emotional strength and intellectual stimulation. The more robust and varied connections you diligently build and nurture in the present moment, the more expansive and resilient your support system will become in the years to come, acting as a buffer against loneliness and a catalyst for continued personal growth. So, engage in a meaningful introspection. Who are the individuals currently enriching your life, who consistently bring you genuine joy and stimulation? If the answer to this critical question remains ambiguous or disappointingly sparse, it is an unequivocal signal that the time has arrived to consciously and actively expand your social circle. Because ultimately, a vibrant and robust social network isn't solely about ensuring you have company. It is fundamentally about surrounding yourself with people who genuinely uplift your spirits, who remind you of your inherent worth and value, and who imbue every single stage of your life with deeper meaning, richer experiences, and boundless possibilities. It's about shared stories, mutual support, and the invaluable sense of being truly seen and understood by others beyond your immediate kin. The fourth foundational pillar, frequently overlooked yet profoundly potent, isn't another individual or external resource. It is your very own deeply cultivated sense of purpose. As individuals transcend the age of 60, many invariably begin to perceive a subtle yet significant shift in their life's landscape. The once defining roles that historically imbued their lives with profound meaning, be it the tireless dedication of a parent, the diligent commitment of a professional worker, or the compassionate stewardship of a caregiver, often begin to recede or gradually fade into the background. Retirement, a much anticipated chapter, firmly sets in. Children, having matured into independent adults, embark on their own journeys, and the once frenzied pace of life gracefully decelerates, allowing for introspection and quietude. Without a clear, compelling sense of direction or an overarching raison d'être, it becomes alarmingly easy to slip into feelings of invisibility, a painful sense of being unneeded, or even a disorienting sensation of being utterly lost within the vastness of one's own existence. The unvarnished truth, often difficult to confront, is that no matter the depth of affection your family holds for you, they are inherently incapable of giving you purpose. That profound and deeply personal sense of meaning is something you must meticulously construct and continually nurture for yourself from within. Possessing a compelling reason to greet each new morning, whether it manifests as an impassioned hobby, a stimulating personal project, or a challenging aspirational goal, serves as a powerful cognitive stimulant, keeping your mind acutely sharp and engaged. It acts as an emotional anchor, helping to keep your sentiments steady and balanced, and it undeniably fosters a life that feels perpetually fulfilling and rich with experience. It is this internal drive, this sense of contributing or striving, that dynamically keeps you actively engaged with the vibrant tapestry of the world around you, rather than relegating you to the passive role of merely observing life from the detached sidelines. Consider the inspiring trajectory of George, a 70-year-old retired engineer who, upon his departure from the professional workforce, initially embraced the prospect of finally luxuriating in well-deserved relaxation with eager anticipation. However, after only a few months, a subtle yet persistent sensation of restlessness began to creep in, a pervasive feeling that something fundamental was conspicuously missing from his daily routine. His days, once meticulously structured and purposeful, now felt disturbingly empty and devoid of significant meaning. While his children dutifully visited on occasion, they were understandably deeply immersed in their own distinct lives and responsibilities. It was at this crucial juncture that George, with characteristic determination, resolved to take decisive action. He enthusiastically embarked on a new chapter, volunteering his time and expertise at a local school, where he began imparting his valuable engineering knowledge to young, impressionable students, teaching them the fundamental principles of construction and design. Before long, he discovered he had cultivated a compelling new reason to rise each morning, a deeply satisfying endeavor that made him feel profoundly valued, indisputably useful, and dynamically engaged with the vibrant currents of life once more. Crucially, a profound sense of purpose does not exclusively emanate from a traditional job or a paid profession. It can manifest in a myriad of forms, encompassing anything that genuinely ignites your spirit and makes you feel profoundly alive. This could involve embarking on a journey of continuous learning, perhaps mastering a new language or delving into a fascinating historical period. It might entail mentoring others, sharing the accumulated wisdom and experience of a lifetime with those who stand to benefit. It could be found in the quiet contemplation and diligent nurturing of a garden, the expressive freedom of painting, the exhilarating adventure of travel, or even the disciplined pursuit of setting and achieving personal goals, however modest they may initially appear. The essence lies in proactively engaging in activities that bring you authentic joy, intellectual stimulation, and emotional fulfillment, thereby keeping your mind and emotions actively engaged and continuously evolving. If you have been wrestling with the disheartening sentiment that your most vibrant and productive days are irrevocably behind you, it is an opportune moment, indeed a necessity, to fundamentally recalibrate that limiting mindset. Your inherent purpose is not something that mysteriously vanishes or diminishes with the passage of time and the accumulation of years. Rather, it possesses the remarkable capacity to evolve, to transform, and to adapt to the unique contours of each new stage of life. The more diligently and thoughtfully you invest in actively seeking and cultivating profound meaning in your daily existence, the less you will find yourself in a position of reliance on others to provide your fundamental happiness and contentment. Because in the ultimate analysis, the most potent and unwavering support you can ever possess isn't derived from someone passively holding your hand through life's trials. It is the inextinguishable fire residing deep within you, the inherent drive that consistently propels you forward, enabling you to discover new horizons and embrace every possibility. The fifth indispensable pillar, offering profound strength and stability, is your emotional resilience. Life, in its intricate and often unpredictable dance, possesses an uncanny knack for testing your mettle, regardless of your chronological age. After the milestone of 60, challenges do not magically cease. Rather, they subtly transmute, taking on new forms and demanding different responses. Friendships, once robust, may gradually wane. Cherished loved ones inevitably pass on, leaving voids that ache with absence. Health issues, sometimes unexpected, frequently arise, and occasionally, life itself can simply feel more solitary and demanding than it once did. The profound truth, often learned through experience, is that no matter the abundance of external support you receive from others, the single most reliable and potent source of inherent strength will invariably emanate from within yourself. Your innate capacity to adapt gracefully to unforeseen circumstances, to process complex and sometimes painful emotions in a healthy and constructive manner, and to meticulously cultivate a sense of inner peace even amidst profoundly difficult moments. This internal fortitude is precisely what relentlessly propels you forward, even when external circumstances stubbornly refuse to unfold precisely as you had envisioned or hoped. A significant number of individuals, perhaps out of habit or cultural expectation, tend to lean heavily on their family members to function as their primary emotional support system. They hold a deeply ingrained belief that their children, their siblings, or their extended relatives will consistently be present to offer comfort, solace, and understanding in times of distress. However, the often stark reality is that every single person is, in their own right, grappling with their unique set of personal battles, their own internal conflicts, and their distinct external pressures. They might not always possess the available time, the necessary emotional energy, or even the intrinsic capacity to consistently provide the profound wellspring of emotional stability that you might momentarily require. This is precisely why the deliberate and conscious cultivation of robust emotional resilience is of such paramount importance. It empowers you to tap into an enduring reservoir of strength within your own being, rather than perpetually seeking external validation or relying on others to shore up your emotional equilibrium. Consider the compelling narrative of Helen, a 75-year-old woman who endured the heartbreaking loss of her husband after a devoted and fulfilling 40 years of marriage. Initially, in the raw aftermath of her grief, she naturally leaned heavily on her children for emotional support and comfort. However, as the initial shock gradually subsided and the passage of time continued its relentless march, she came to a profound realization. While her children undoubtedly cared for her with immense depth and sincerity, they were simultaneously navigating their own families, their own careers, and their own extensive responsibilities. She intuitively understood that she could not reasonably expect them to unilaterally fill the profound void that the loss of her beloved husband had created within her. Instead of succumbing to the overwhelming currents of grief and allowing it to consume her entirely, Helen deliberately redirected her energy, focusing intently on the arduous yet ultimately rewarding task of strengthening herself emotionally. She proactively joined a grief support group, a community of shared experience and empathy. She began a consistent practice of journaling, allowing her thoughts and feelings to flow freely onto the page as a therapeutic outlet. And she conscientiously incorporated daily gratitude practices into her routine, intentionally shifting her focus towards the blessings that still remained. Over time, through these deliberate and consistent efforts, she unearthed a powerful and deeply transformative truth. She did not require someone else to magically fix her sadness or to mend her broken heart. She possessed within her own resilient spirit the inherent strength and capacity to heal, and to find a renewed sense of peace and wholeness on her own terms. Emotional resilience is not synonymous with the suppression of authentic emotions or the pretense of unwavering strength at all times. On the contrary, it is about courageously acknowledging pain, allowing oneself to feel and process it in a healthy and constructive manner, and meticulously developing a repertoire of effective coping mechanisms that enable you to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with a profound sense of grace and internal composure. It involves consciously cultivating various healthy outlets for emotional expression and release. Whether through expressive writing, the calming practice of meditation, seeking professional guidance through therapy, or engaging in simple yet profound self-reflection. These practices serve as invaluable internal compasses, helping you to locate and nurture peace within your own being, rather than remaining perpetually dependent on others to provide it for you. Irrespective of the specific challenges or triumphs that life invariably presents, your cultivated ability to stand strong and resilient on your own 2 feet will always remain one of your most invaluable and consistent sources of support. The more diligently and intentionally you cultivate this profound emotional resilience, the less you will experience feelings of dependence on others to make you feel truly whole and complete. Because in the final, irreducible analysis, the one person who will unfailingly accompany you through every single hardship, every moment of uncertainty, and every triumphant celebration throughout your life's journey is you. Your inner strength is your constant companion. The 6th and final pillar, crucial for navigating the later stages of life with grace and dynamism, is your profound ability to adapt. If there is one singular, immutable truth about embarking on life's journey after the age of 60, it is this: nothing, absolutely nothing remains static. People change, circumstances undergo dramatic shifts, and the very things you once confidently relied upon, assuming their permanence, may no longer prove to be as steadfast or dependable as they once were. The fundamental key to not merely surviving, but genuinely thriving in this rich and complex stage of life isn't found in clinging desperately to the echoes of the past. Rather, it resides squarely in your inherent, cultivated capacity to adapt with agility and an open mind. Those who encounter the most significant struggles and frustrations with the process of aging are frequently the individuals who vehemently resist change, who cling too tightly and possessively to what was, instead of gracefully embracing and making peace with what is. Conversely, those remarkable individuals who conscientiously learn to adjust their perspectives, to remain perpetually open to new experiences, and to wholeheartedly welcome new possibilities. They consistently discover profound joy, deep satisfaction, and an unwavering sense of fulfillment, irrespective of the specific challenges or opportunities that life invariably presents. Many people, perhaps due to years of habit or comfort with routine, implicitly assume that once they attain a certain age, they are irrevocably set in their ways, their patterns and beliefs unalterable. However, this kind of rigid thinking can prove to be profoundly dangerous and limiting. It has the potential to actively prevent you from discovering exhilarating new opportunities, from forming enriching connections with new and interesting people, and from engaging in the continuous process of learning new things that could immeasurably enrich the tapestry of your life. Being truly adaptable isn't merely a passive acceptance of change. It is rather an active, conscious, and proactive pursuit of innovative ways to grow alongside change, to evolve with its currents, and to harness its transformative power. Consider the compelling narrative of Frank, a 78-year-old man who had, for the vast majority of his adult life, predominantly relied on in-person friendships and face-to-face interactions to sustain his social connections and sense of community. When a significant number of his cherished friends either relocated to distant places or regrettably passed on, he initially found himself adrift and deeply lost. He mused internally, perhaps with a sense of resignation. I suppose this is simply the inevitable reality of getting older. Loneliness is just part of it. However, instead of passively surrendering himself to the encroaching solitude, Frank, with remarkable fortitude, made a conscious decision to adapt. He diligently learned how to utilize modern video call technology to maintain vibrant connections with his geographically distant family members, transforming casual conversations into meaningful visual interactions. He enthusiastically joined an online discussion group dedicated to his lifelong passion for history, discovering a new community of like-minded individuals. And in this process of embracing technological and social change, he even forged a few new, genuinely enriching friendships. Instead of allowing change to defeat him or to diminish his spirit, he courageously permitted himself to grow and evolve with it, discovering new avenues for connection and engagement that he had never previously considered. The individuals who genuinely thrive after the age of 60 are not necessarily those who possess the most abundant resources, or who can boast the strongest pre-existing support systems. Instead, they are the ones characterized by an unwavering refusal to be rigidly stuck in their accustomed ways. They are those who retain an insatiable sense of curiosity, who perpetually seek knowledge and understanding, and who tirelessly discover innovative ways to adjust their sails, no matter the direction from which life's winds blow. If one door unexpectedly closes, they instinctively and optimistically search for another, understanding that limitations are often merely opportunities in disguise. If a relationship undergoes an inevitable transformation, they proactively seek new and creative avenues to maintain connection and meaning. If a particular approach or situation is no longer serving their well-being, they exhibit the courage and flexibility to willingly try something entirely different, unafraid of venturing into the unknown. Your inherent ability to adapt, to pivot with resilience and grace, stands as one of the greatest and most enduring pillars of support you will ever cultivate. It bestows upon you the profound capacity to navigate the intricate labyrinth of life with an unshakable sense of resilience, an infectious optimism, and an intrinsic, quiet confidence. And the more wholeheartedly you embrace change, rather than succumbing to its fear, the less you will perceive yourself as constantly losing something valuable. Instead, you will come to a profound realization that every single stage of life, with its unique challenges and opportunities, consistently offers something new, something enriching, and something deeply meaningful to gain. This perpetual growth mindset ensures that life remains an exciting journey of discovery. Reaching the significant milestones of 60 years and beyond ushers in a distinctive stage of life, one that is richly imbued with both profound wisdom and its own unique array of challenges. While family in its foundational role will invariably hold a cherished and irreplaceable position within your heart, the underlying reality is that the most truly reliable and unwavering support you will ever experience isn't exclusively found in the presence of other people. Rather, it is meticulously forged and discovered within the robust foundation you diligently construct for yourself. Your financial stability acts as the steadfast guarantor, ensuring that you are never compelled to rely on the generosity or capacity of someone else merely to sustain your daily existence. It affords you autonomy and choice. Your physical health, vibrant and well-maintained, directly dictates whether you can steadfastly preserve your precious freedom and cherished independence, allowing you to engage actively with the world. Your diligently cultivated social circle serves as a vital artery, keeping you intimately connected, intellectually engaged, and profoundly emotionally fulfilled through shared experiences and genuine camaraderie. Your profoundly personal sense of purpose endows your life with intrinsic meaning, propelling direction and boundless motivation, irrespective of your chronological age or professional status. Your meticulously honed emotional resilience fortifies you against the inevitable hardships, the unexpected setbacks, and the myriad uncertainties that life, in its relentless unfolding, will invariably present. And finally, your remarkable ability to adapt, to pivot and adjust with grace, empowers you to not merely survive but truly thrive, even when circumstances diverge significantly from your meticulously laid plans or cherished expectations. If you have conscientiously established and diligently nurtured these 6 interconnected pillars within your life, you will possess an unshakable inner certainty. You will never feel entirely alone, nor will you ever have to resort to begging for essential support. You will not feel helpless or overwhelmed in difficult times, nor will you passively wait for someone else to dramatically step in and rescue you. This is because true and enduring stability doesn't originate from the fragile hope that others will invariably be there for you when you need them. Instead, it springs from the profound and empowering knowledge that you are already comprehensively prepared, intrinsically equipped, and inherently capable of standing strong and resolute, no matter what unpredictable currents life chooses to send your way. This self-sufficiency, built on these foundational pillars, is the ultimate expression of living a truly empowered and independent later life.